today for this sample, I made it in yellow. You see a lot of yellow in Chinese culture too. So I made a derivative so that, you think, well, this year is the year of the ox, but after this year, will I ever have a need to make an ox? And so I kind of made this cute little different colored in, let's say he's wearing a little, like he could be a little Latino ox. I don't even know how you say ox in Spanish, but I took the little bee lines from my bee that I showed last week and some other eyes. And these are actually rabbit mouths, but I thought it looked really good for a muzzle, like as if he had little buck teeth for an ox. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started here. This is very similar to a lot of other designs that I make. The catacorn, the poop emoji, some of these other ones. So, okay, what I'm going to do is take a red 350, and if you do it just right, you only need one 350. So I'm going to blow this up about 3/4 of the way. Give it a little burp, tie that off. And I'm going to make it about a hand's width. Bring that around, match that up, pull that nozzle through, and then capture the rest of this. Finish tying this off in a square knot. And I'm going to put on my handy little cutter here. There we go. And cut off those ends. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the body out of the remainder of the 350. So I'm going to make a section about a hand's width for the front leg. Twist that off. I'm going to bring and hold down the nozzle, match it up for the second leg. Screw that, twist that around, pull the nozzle through so that the knot comes through. Now I'm going to make the back, which is about not quite as long as the legs, maybe about half of that. This is going to be the back. Then you're do a hind leg, just split that into a little bit smaller. You're going to feed that through the front legs. Pull that up, and the remainder is going to be the back leg with a tail. So I twist it off to match this leg, and for my tails I like to have a little more air and have it come to a point there. I think it looks really cute that way. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and make his little emerald cap. And I'm taking a red balloon. You could take a contrasting color. You could maybe do green and gold, but you see a lot of red. So I'm going to go ahead with the red one. So I'm going to blow up my balloon like a small orange, and I'm going to release just a little bit of air out of it. So you can see you can palm it like a baseball. All right, I'm going to tie a knot in it. And you want to tie it a little bit in between the middle and the top there, just so that you have room to flex here. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and create my little, I don't know what you would call it, maybe a button at the top. So tie this about 1 inch. I'm going to cut this off. And bring this together to complete that little button. This is for the top of the hat. And then you want to have a little bit of a length on that tether, because what I'm going to do is grab this tether. I'm going to take the balloon, squeeze this so that it's taut at the front here. You're going to push this in with your thumb, and you're going to grab it on the other side with your other hand so that you've captured it. You're going to twist this off, and then I'm going to grab a remnant, and with my pinky I'm holding this, and then I'm going to stretch and wind this around a couple times to capture that raisin or that remnant that I pushed through on the other side. And you tie this off in a square knot so that you've got this. Okay, now we are almost ready to attach this to the head, but we need to create our horns. So the sample that I showed earlier in the week has smooth tops, so I used the end of the balloon just because I wanted to be have a little bit more perfection in the way that it looks. So we're going to do that with this. We're going to cut off the balloon a little bit here, maybe about 4 inches, and we're going to inflate this. Okay, what I want to do is inflate it at the end there, so I'm going to weaken the balloon by popping that a little bit, because I want it to inflate at the end there. It's not critical, but it's just a little trick or tip. And then that way it starts inflating from the end versus here. So with that, I'm going to deflate it a little bit and kind of eyeball how much of a horn I want. So I'm going to let it come down just a little bit. And then you're going to tie this off so that we have this. Now you're going to make a matching one. I'm going to take another 260, do the same thing, and with this one, let's see, yeah, I think I'll do the same thing. Okay. So again, about 4 inches. Snap that up a little bit. Place this on. Soften it up a little bit, play with it to see the shaping of it. See if it matches the sizing on that. Need to let a little bit more air out. That's about good. Maybe just a tad more air. Oops. I'm trying to be a perfectionist here. All right. Ah! Okay, maybe not be as perfectionist. Let's see here. Okay, we're going to do that. All right, tie that off. Okay, then we're going to do is tie these two together at about 1 inch apart, not too far. And this is what's going to go on either side of the cap. So tie that up. And then cut these ends off. Well, let's see here. Okay, now, so the way we're going to connect this head is we want it to be centered on the body. Okay. So I need an attachment point. So I'm going to use my cap here, feed it through the top of the head, like so, and then I'm going to attach it to the top of the body, where the neck would be. And so just tie that off into a square knot. Be sure you do it in a square knot and just not 1/2 of a knot, because it may eventually come off. So I've done that. I'm going to situate the head so that it's doing like so. Now I can go ahead and add add my horns. So I'm going to wrap that around the hat there so it doesn't come undone. We're getting there. Okay. Now I'm ready to add my face. All right. So for this, oops. There, no. Sorry about that. I thought I grabbed extra sticker paste for that. Okay, got it. All right, there we go. So I'm using my kawaii face, and I'm also going to use this rabbit sticker mouth. So again, remove the top 2 layers. Add this to here. Remove this. As you can see, it just goes super fast. And then I'm going to remove this little mouth here, what was the mouth. And again, I've never had my stickers ever pop a balloon. They stick very well, but they're not so sticky that they would pop the balloon. So I'm just going to eyeball that and position them there. There, move that little button closer to the front there. Now, what I was going to show you here is, now you see it with the body, but if I wanted to, I could just have this attached to a headband. Oops, I gotta capture this here. So when it's a headband, you don't have to have the whole body, and because you're gonna have a little, usually a flowerette on the bottom. So I'm gonna attach this to this tether here.